Gorgeous shot of the Golden Gate Bridge from Baker Beach in San Francisco. The Rockies getting ready to take on the Giants once again in beautiful high definition on FSN. And good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. The Rockies won last night 5-3. They were down 3-0 in the 7th inning, come all the way back, produced their second come-from-behind win against the Giants this year. Last time Matt Cain was on the mound as well, and the Rockies trailed in that one 3-0 in the same ball game. So the Rockies are playing good baseball. 3 straight wins on the road, 3 straight ball games they've won without the benefit of a home run, the kind of game you have to win in the pitching-rich National League West. As I bring in my partner, George Frazier. The bullpen has been much maligned this year, so let's give them some credit. The last 3 days, they've been terrific.
They have been terrific. They have had battled through an awful lot of injuries, but they finally have back the original bullpen they wanted to start the season with. The bullpen in the last 3 ball games, Manny Corpus has been outstanding in Arizona. 3 saves, 8 scoreless innings, 2-0 record overall. What more could you ask for out of this club and what they've been able to accomplish? Jeremy Affeldt last night, a big strikeout of Ryan Klesko, and then, of course, you hand the ball to one of the best closers in the game today. And it's talking about Brian Fuentes and the job he has been able to do throughout this series, and then also with the series in Arizona. And again, you know, Drew, if you don't have a good bullpen, you're not going to win a lot of ball games. That is a proven fact. That has gone on in San Diego, where they won a division. It has gone on in LA, in New York. Everywhere you look, strong bullpens result in a team playing in early October.
Well, Brian Fuentes, 10 saves, ties a club record in the month of May. There's still 6 ball games left. Hopefully he'll be called upon several more times. San Francisco, one of the great cities of the world, and we'll be checking out a little more closely tonight. Rockies and Giants, ask about it at work. And welcome inside the ballpark, known as AT&T Park. And the Rockies are set to go against Matt Morris. Willie Taveras will lead things off against the veteran of the Giants staff, and the St. Louis Cardinal. He had some great years with the Cards, and he's on a nice little roll. In fact, in his last outing Sunday across the bay in Oakland, his 21st career complete game. And this is line to right, playing very shallow is Fred Lewis, and he'll make the catch. Let's take a look at the rest of the Rockies lineup. Kaz Matsui, who got a huge hit last night to drive in the go-ahead run in the 8th. They'll be in the 2-hole. Then Holiday, he had 3 hits last night. Todd Helton, Garrett Atkins, Brad Hopp, who had big RBI double to tie things last night. Tulowitzki, 2 hits yesterday. Torey Alba, the one-time Giant, and then Aaron Cook. So here's Kazu Matsui at 327, and he takes a sinker down low. Morris's last 4 ball games, 2-0. This is all in the month of May. 29 innings, he allowed just 8 runs, 23 hits. Struck out 15, walked 8. George, he's been terrific in the month of May, and nobody's talking about Matt Morris around the country. When you talk about the Giants, you're talking about Lincecum, you're talking about Matt Cain.
Well, I think
and
a big
Barry
reason,
Zito, obviously.
Well, because he's been 500, he's been hurt. He hasn't really been as consistent as he was in his younger days with the St. Louis Cardinals. But one thing that Morris has started to do now, and that's why I was watching these first couple batters to see how he would attack. It's usually first pitch strike, then a lot of slow curveballs after that. The curveball has ranged anywhere from 62 miles an hour up to 77, which makes the fastball look that much quicker. And he's not throwing the four-seamer as much as he used to. You see a lot of movement on the sinker. You did there at 87 miles an hour, down and away.
He's had to reinvent himself a little bit. Back in his heyday with St. Louis, he was a power pitcher.
Yeah, mid-90s guy with a very good curveball. You know what he reminded you of is, well, I should say, Wainwright in St. Louis right now. Reminds you of a Matt Morris years ago in the mid-90s. As you look at Matt Morris's numbers on the season, Drew's talked an awful lot about him. 9 starts, 5-1. 293 earned run average. Don't let Helton beat you. Todd's an average above 300, over 3 home runs against him. And that's Morris will know where he is in the lineup. And a little old-fashioned. He'll pitch backwards. He'll pitch in. He'll pitch up and down. But most of the time, he'll be around that strike zone. Right now, you can purchase a used vehicle from the Giant Fordland. If it ever breaks, we'll buy it back or fix it for free with no questions asked. The Giant Fordland.
He works very quickly. And Matt Holliday calls time to get his footing in the back of the box. And quickly, a 2-strike count on Holliday. Matt at 344 entering the ball game. Rockies trying to get off to a quick start, something they've not been able to do much at all this year, whether it be home or road. But on the road, they have 9 first-inning runs, just 4 runs scored in the second inning on the road all season. And what a start for Matt Morris. Line drive by Taveras to right, and then a strikeout of Matsui and Holliday. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup tonight for Bruce Bochy. Again, it'll be Randy Wynn at the top. Fred Lewis in the 2-hole. Ryan Klesko really swinging the bat well. Barry Bonds, great hitter against Aaron Cook in his career, but he's in a bit of a slump in his last 13 games. Ray Durham, Benji Molina, Pedro Feliz, Omar Vizquel, who had last night off, is playing shortstop because he's been struggling with the bat. He's been dropped to the 8-hole. Here's Randy Wynn at a 20-game hitting streak snapped a few days ago. 20-game hit streak, the longest of his career, but since that time, he's hit 2 straight, 4 of his last 7. First pitch from Aaron Cook is down low, ball 1. And Morris, does he have dinner plans or something?
Yeah, that went quick too, huh? He threw 11 total pitches, 8 strikes, 3 balls, 3 of those to Matsui. And he came all the way back, got a strikeout out of the deal. I mean, that's how dominant he was with Holliday. A couple of fastballs and a slow hook. Now it's Aaron Cook's turn to shorten things up. Get back in the dugout, allow the offense another opportunity at Mr. Morris.
Laz Diaz behind home plate, switches the baseball out with Yorvi Torrealba.
I like Laz Diaz. The only reason I say a lot of energy behind the plate. He's one of those umpires, you know, when it's game day and he's back there and he's the man, you know he's the man. I mean, he takes charge, typically a pretty good strike zone.
Kaz Matsui moves to his right. He'll throw out Randy Wynn, 1 out.
Well, take a look at Aaron Cook's numbers on the year. 10 starts now for him. This is his 11th on the year. 3-1 record, 455 earned run average. Control the middle of that lineup, of the ball game, I should say. 20 of his 34 runs he's given up in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. So that second time, as he starts that second time through, I think it's something important, obviously, for him to be able to maintain, stay down in this ball game, give his ball club a chance to win. Pitch backwards. I think slow hooks are something he needs to look at. The slow curveball and changeup to help utilize his stuff tonight in this ball game. All of that's brought to you by The Giant Fordland. Right now, purchase a used vehicle from The Giant Fordland, and if it ever breaks, we'll buy it back or fix it for free with no questions asked.
There's Fred Lewis hitting .450 against Rockies pitching.
What's he hitting, though, if you take away the cycle?
I'm not sure. He's still hitting pretty well, though. He's done a nice job against Colorado so far. Been in the big leagues for a couple weeks.
Yeah, pretty good sized kid, 6'2", 190 pounds.
1-1 on Lewis. Good pitch by Cook, hard sinker. Aaron beat the Giants on May 10th at Coors Field. Went 6 innings in that ball game, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. Got away with 4 walks, didn't strike out a batter through 109. Two outs. Wind gusting about AT&T Park tonight. Game time temperature 59 degrees. We look at the Rockies defensively. Holliday, Taveras, Hop in the outfield. Atkins, Tulowitzki, Matsui, and Helton around the horn. Torrealba, 4 straight ball game behind the plate. Todd Helton on a 30-game errorless stretch. Here's Ryan Klesko. Klesko 9 for his last 14 at the plate. Aaron's got the good movement with that 2-seamer tonight. You can tell right off the bat.
Cold temperatures, hitters cannot stand to get a ball off the end of the bat from a sinker baller. It's like trying to hit a shot put. It just vibrates all the way up and down the bat. Everybody keeps saying it's going to be colder tonight, so the front's coming in. Oh, it was pretty chilly in last night's ball game.
I thought it was real chilly in last night's ball game. And last night, the game time temperature 53 degrees at the outset. 59 tonight. Good start for Aaron Cook. Big chopping ground balls. That's a great indication the sinker is on. We'll go to the second. Helton will lead it off.
As the Rockies take on the Giants tonight, game 2 of a 3-game set. Let's take a look at the keys to victory tonight for the Rockies. Continued movement from the top of the order. I think it's important that they get on base, steal a base, catch the baseball. With Cook on the hill, you've got to have the ability of the defense to be outstanding. Was in the first inning. Late in this ball game, as it did yesterday, Ryan Spielborg's with a big base hit. The bench will play a role. The bullpen will play a role. All of that is brought to you by Burt Toyota.
One-0 to Helton, and that pitch on the inside corner, 1-1. Todd last night walked a couple times, 0 for 3. Rockies got 5 runs late to win the ball game. Todd among the league leaders in batting average, on base percentage. Multi-hit games, leads the big leagues with 21. And this is popped up short center field. Vizquel going out, raising his arms, and he's got it, 1 out. That'll bring up Garrett Atkins. This season, Cardell Homes is sponsoring Home Runs for Hunger. Each time a Rocky hits one deep, Cardell Homes will donate $100 to the food bank of the Rockies. To learn more about Home Runs for Hunger or to pledge your support, go to cardellhomes.com, click on the Home Runs for Hunger icon. Quick strike on Garrett Atkins. Matt Morris won 22 ball games back in 2001. It's the most games won by a Giant pitcher since Bob Gibson in the early 70s, won 23. And the breaking pitch fouled off. Nice hands by Mike Gallego. Clint Hurdle trying to give Garrett some confidence. Every day, Garrett comes to the ballpark. He looks up on the board, and his name's been in the lineup despite the slump he's been in. He's thrown out by Pedro Feliz. 2 outs. Cockrell doing all he can, trying to get Garrett back on track. Brad Hopp, big 2-out double on an 0-2 pitch from Jack Tashner last night.
Yeah, I tell you, big mistake made too, because typically a lefty on lefty late in the ball game, they see more of a slider, curveball, changeup, something away moving down in the strike zone, and he left a fastball belt high out over the middle of the plate. He hit that ball down into the corner. I thought it was Barry was going to call a cab to get it. It took him a while to get into that corner and get the ball back.
You know, George, you make light of it, and we were talking about this late last night over Bite to Eat. One of the big parts of this ball game, not only that Hopp hit it in that corner, but Barry still in the ball game, where typically if they're up a couple of runs, they take him out for defensive reasons. But because it was so tight, Bochy wanted him to get one more at bat. That ball goes in the corner. It took Barry a while to get there, and then he doesn't have much arm strength anymore. So it allowed the runner to score on the double as opposed to having to stop at third base.
No question. I think if you even have Mark Sweeney out there, you have a little bit stronger arm, quicker body to get to the ball and get it back in.
1-2, line drive center field, and Brad Hopp is the first base runner of the ball game.
We're going to take a look at the outfield arms as we've shown you the last couple of nights. Barry Bonds, everything's changed since he was a young player, the winner of Gold Gloves. Well below average. Charge is okay right now, but you can run on him. Ball left to right, that was obvious last night. In center field, Randy Wynn. He's very average arm. He gets a little bit careless left to right, but charges extremely well. Same thing in right field with the young Fred Lewis. All of that is brought to you by Franklin D. Azar and Associates. Injured in an accident? Call Franklin D. Azar and Associates. One call. That's all.
Tulowitzki lines one to the gap in right center field. This one will touch down. Hop will go to third. So back-to-back two-out singles, first and third for Colorado.
And once again, bottom half of the lineup doing the damage in this game. That's a mistake by Morris, obvious. You can see Molina setting out, down away from him in the zone. The ball's going to drop in, to the dismay of Morris. Did not make a good pitch, and the youngster made him pay for it.
Yorvi Torrealba. Rockies have won 3 straight with Yorvi behind the plate. So he came to the park today, looked at the lineup card. He's in there again.
Well, you get on a roll like this, and where you're receiving the ball, calling the game properly, and everybody's happy and you're winning, you don't change those things. I mean, Yorvi's one of those guys, a backup for the majority of his career. He's got an opportunity to catch some games here of late. And if you match the numbers up, and some managers will do this, some won't. But if you start to look at big innings, and then you look at their catching totals, and try to define of really who's handling it very well behind the plate. And to give you an example, Ionetta's earned run average 544, Torrealba at 423, yet Torrealba's 5 games under 500 record-wise. That's because he's caught more ball games.
First and third, 2 outs. 1-1 on Torrealba. Tulowitzki draws a throw.
Torrealba in his career versus Morris, 2 for 8. He does have a home run.
Hard hit ball, but right at Ray Durham. So the Rockies get a couple of hits. They leave runners on the corners. Middle of 2, no score. Bonds will be first. No score. That, of course, is Alcatraz, one of the most popular tourist attractions in San Francisco. We've been there several times, George, through the years. In fact, Frazier was there voluntarily and involuntarily.
You bet, man. And take the night tour, folks. You'll love it.
Well, in the 29 years that it operated as a federal prison, 1934 to 1963, 36 men were involved in 14 separate escape attempts. The 23 were caught, 6 were shot and killed during their escape. There's a strike on Bonds. 2 drowned. And then the other 5 were unaccounted for, and we assume they didn't make the swim. Just off the corner, 1-1. Easy play for Kaz Matsui, 1 out. Ray Durham will come up as Aaron Cook dispatches of Bonds. Tonight's game is brought to you in high definition on Comcast Channel 664 in Denver. Check your local listings for the HD channel in your area. Durham at 257, trying to lay down a bunt.
I was talking to a Giant official, and he said, you know, God, we just don't have the offense. And I said, but you've got a veteran team that will work counts, move a runner over, get guys into scoring position. And yeah, Barry doesn't hit. You don't have a lot of guys with power. But I think one guy in their lineup, actually 2 that gets forgotten about. One of them's this guy at the plate right now, and Ray Durham. He's got a little pop in his bat. He'll drive doubles. He'll knock in some runs. The other, to me, is Pedro Feliz. And that may be just because he, just destroys the Rockies. And in his career coming into the season, 17 home runs, 57 RBIs against the Rockies, Pedro Feliz had, and above 290. I just think he's one of those guys that not a lot of people think of. At the end of the year, he'll end up with his 85, 90 RBIs and hitting 6th and 7th in the lineup.
And this one has eyes through the right side. Is there a team in the National League West And I think this is the byproduct, again, of the great pitching in the NL West, George. Is there a team right now that is satisfied with their offense? You go to San Diego, they'd like another batter, or probably two. You know LA would like another bat.
LA's got a lot of offensive potential with Russell, Garcia-Parra, Kent. Bet him at third when he's swinging the bat well. They've got speed at the top with Pierre.
And Furcal.
I think that lineup's pretty formidable when you start talking about the Dodgers. But yeah, I mean, every team could probably use a bat like they could use another starting pitcher.
Right. Well, Arizona doesn't have a true middle of the order thumper. And the Rockies, we felt like going in, may have the best offense on paper in the division. They haven't hit like they feel they're capable of.
Well, when we travel as much as we do, and you visit with different scouts and assistant GMs and GMs, they still feel on paper this team will get on track. And Atkins being one of those guys that when he uncorks, the rest of this club's going to take off and be very, very tough to deal with.
A 1 on Benji Molina, and now it's 0-2.
Pretty defensive swing by Molina. Now, he was so far behind on that last fastball. Don't slow it down to his bat speed. In other words, folks, don't throw a changeup. Don't give him a slider or a curveball. Continue to pound him with a hard fastball. With 1 out, pretty good chance you're going to turn a double play with him. Well, right back in there, that hard sinker.
Popped him up. Matsui going out. Hop coming on. Willie Taveras in the neighborhood. And they may get a double play out of this. Ray Durham almost was a little late getting back to that first base bag.
Throws up both arms at Taveras. What are you doing? Well, don't get off too far. That's what I'm doing.
Pedro Feliz will be next. Feliz just a .227 career hitter against Aaron Cook. Been going well over his last 13 games, hitting 10 of them, batting .309. Pedro's played outstanding defense at third this year. He's committed just 2 errors. Hard shot down the line. Holiday has a long run. He was in left center. Durham is going to get a stop sign late. Throw back to the bag, safe.
Twice. Once at first, now the throw back by Tulowitzki right to Atkins and almost got him again.
And Tim Flannery helps him up. Durham came flying around the bag, and Flannery gave him a late stop sign.
Well, the reason why is when it goes over the mound, you really don't know which way it's going to go. The bullpen mound's inside the ballpark here, and you don't know how the ball's going to bounce because the outer area in foul territory is a rubber surface. So when it gets over there, you're not sure which way it's going to go. Now, Holiday able to barehand that baseball, hit it with Tulowitzki, and he fired one right into Atkins at third. Close play on Durham. I don't know what it is about Feliz and the Rockies. This guy seems to hit some of the nastiest pitches harder than any guy in the league against the Rockies. Yeah, see, a little bit too far. Pretty close play.
Rockies will go ahead and put the 8-hole hitter Vizquel on naturally and load the bases for Matt Morris.
Well, Rockies fans like to let you know that when you donate an old car, truck, or SUV to Cars Helping Kids, you not only change a kid's life. When you donate a vehicle, you not only get a tax break and a free tow, but you also get a $1,000 voucher toward the purchase of a new or used vehicle from Freeway Ford and Longmont Ford. For more information, go to carskids.com or go to cheaperfords.com.
Matt Morris is a career 160 hitter. A home run and 34 RBIs. Bases full of Giants, 2 outs. Strike one on Matt Morris, a native of Middletown, New York. About an hour-and-a-half drive from Midtown Manhattan, due north. And this is chopped. This could be a problem. It will be.
And a ball there. Cook as a pitcher, you're going to go for it, try to get it the best you can, but that may have been an instance to let Atkins have it. Momentum going towards the ball, towards first base, and a chance. Bad break for Aaron Cook, who made a nice pitch on Matt Morris, and then unfortunately ends up in a hit and an RBI. Morris's first of the 2007 season. You know, another look at it. Watch Atkins as he starts to come up this line towards the ball. See, his momentum's there. If he catches it, he's probably out. I mean, Morris is what, halfway to 3/4 up the line when Cook got to the baseball.
Well, the competitor in Aaron Cook took over. And you're right, George. Had he deferred, it's a much easier play for Garrett Atkins. Really, Atkins would have the only shot to make that play.
Well, and I think, too, in defense of Cook, that's where he's going to go to the ball till he realizes somebody else is there. And that's where, you know, Atkins got to start screaming, I got it, and get him out of the way of it.
Randy Wynn, bases still loaded, and he takes a strike. Wynn hit the ball on the ground to second. This is where Aaron's got to refocus. Obviously, you're disappointed that you had the scratch hit from the pitcher. But you don't want to give up a hit here and all of a sudden have it be 3-0.
Yeah, decent speed. Vizquel old, but he can still run pretty well. I mean, he's out at second. You give up a hit here, you're going to force a play at the plate.
This is topped over Cook. Tulowitzki will throw out Wynn by half a step. Thank goodness for that great arm of Troy Tulowitzki. Giants get a run. Lombard Street in San Francisco, a traffic jam right now on Lombard Street. Best known for the one block on Russian Hill between Hyde and Leavenworth. 8 sharp turns and known as the crookedest street in the country. It was built that way in 1922 to reduce the 27% grade because most cars back then couldn't make the climb. Speed limit 5 miles an hour, same as George drives all the time.
That's funny, when Kay and the kids were out here one time, we're going down that street, winding, and Kay's car stalled. And it just quit running, in which the brakes went out. We were one of those little scooters, those two people scooters. That was fun. It wasn't fun for her. I mean, we had a pretty good time. But and here's another shot of it. You know, we're talking about. You just kind of wind around. We actually walked down that, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Pretty good walk.
Sprinted up it a few times. Look at this. Aaron Cook rips one right back through the originator against Matt Morris. So Cook with the Rockies' 3rd hit. See if they can get that run back. Willie Taveras coming up.
Cook's average now at 235. I mean, he just got the hands inside the baseball. Looked like he knew what he was doing. A line shot right by Morris out into center field.
Rockies pitchers as a committee swinging the bat much better the last few weeks.
Well, they've worked at it. You know, they realize that's a big part of their game, that when you're in the 6th inning down 1 and you get 2 outs and the pitcher spot comes up, sometimes if you can handle a little bit, Clint's going to allow you to go a little bit.
Safe at first.
Durham got lazy, covered the bag. First time, double pump by Morris, and Durham was lazy and the speed paid off.
It is amazing what speed does to the defense. 12th bunt hit this year for Willie Taveras. Look again.
See, now watch. Here's Durham. He's just jogging over there. You can see where Durham is. Now look here. Look at this race that's going to happen right now. Are you kidding me? I mean, Taveras is only 8-10 feet out, and then he goes to throw, and he has to double clutch. And by then, I mean, Durham didn't get there. He didn't sprint to the bag. It's very simple. I mean, he cost the Giants an out. And because of the hustle of Taveras, now you got a nice situation in front of you. Runners at 1st and 2nd.
Well, the way Kaz runs, lead runners Cook, A lot of options right now for Clint Hurdle. Obviously, he could sacrifice. He could go slug bunt or take it all off and let him swing. He had him swinging there.
Well, and defensively, everybody stayed pretty still with the Giants other than the corners. They're just on the grass. But your middle infielder's set. I mean, these two guys right here, they just set there. So Boat's trying to think of little games, and defensively left them set and standard. Clint played one to let him swing it away.
Bunt defense not set there by the catcher. It's set by Pedro Feliz. That's how the Giants operated. And the bunt is on. Morris going to wheel to go to third. Not handled by Feliz. Cook's going to come home. Willie Taveras to third. Matsui to second. Everybody's safe, and we're tied at 1. Bragging about Pedro Feliz's defense. Only 2 errors coming in. Throw is a little bit low, but he's got to handle it.
Well, that's what we got great eyes down in the truck, and a former infielder, and Kenny Miller, who's our director. And I said, Kenny, did he hit something? No, he just missed it. I mean, that was a great play by Morris. It really is. I mean, the ball came over on a low throw over, but he just closed his glove early, and it ricocheted all the way into the outfield. Cook popped up. You see Gallego up there at the top of the screen, sending him to the house. You tie up a ball game any way you want to. How about that? A single, 2 bunts, and you got second and third. Isn't it a beautiful thing? No outs.
Fielder's choice, E5. Third error on Pedro Feliz. Holiday, nobody out, second and third. Rockies have had very few big innings on the road. See if they can produce one here. Right part of the lineup, thick part of the lineup. Second and third, nobody out. 1-1 in the top of the third. We got a ton of wheels aboard. Holiday went after the curveball. He's behind 0-2.
We had 2 guys that know how to run the bases, not only steal a base, but run the bases. So, and with a veteran ball club, what Boats will do, he'll hold his middle infielder. You're not seeing him jockey back and forth to hold Matsui tight. That's one thing he won't do. He'll leave his defense set out here, so that way you can expand your lead out if you're Matsui.
Holiday's in a ditch right now, 0-2.
Last time
trying to get the ball in the air if he can.
Last time up, slow hook in the dirt to strike him out.
One and 2. Holiday hitting .364 against right-handed pitching. Only right-handed batter hitting better against righties this year in the National League, Derek Lee. Two and 2. Taveras at third, Matsui at second. Helton's on deck. Chop to third. Feliz thought about coming home, but you're not going to get Willie Taveras. So an RBI for Holiday, and the Rockies take a 2-1 lead. RBI number 35 for Matt.
Late in the ball game, you might have seen Feliz take an opportunity on it. We're going to try to stop it when he catches it. He's got the ball here. I mean, he really has a pretty good chance. You're only talking about 20-25 feet before you get the ball to the plate. But maybe he didn't get a grip on it. Late in the game, I think he takes a gamble at the plate early. I think they feel like they're going to score more than 1 run in this ball game. Hopefully they don't. They took the out.
And Willie going on contact. Matsui at second. Here's Helton.
I think the last thing probably the Giants wanted in that situation was runners on first and second, nobody out, and Helton up if they take the gamble to go to the plate. So take the out. I mean, speed, just like it's played such a huge role in this game and really in the 3-game winning series, that the streak that the Rockies have, that they go ahead and take advantage of it here too.
Taveras and Aaron Cook conversing. Aaron Cook in the middle of things offensively. He started the inning off with a line single to center field. Scored the Rockies' first run. Helton bounces one toward Durham. Durham butchers it. Second error of the inning. And the Rockies have runners at first and third for Garrett Atkins.
Well, not a very clean inning at all. You think of all the balls hit here in the infield, Cook's the only one to go out. Yet, this is the Rockies have a chance to build on a one-run lead. They've scored 2 so far.
Garrett Atkins has really been frustrated, and it's not just an individual thing. I mean, you're frustrated to come up in the middle of the order, opportunities to help the club, and he'll get that stroke back. He's got an opportunity right now to help his club. One and one. Two balls and a strike.
I mean, really, Morse had pitched that poorly at all. I mean, it's just the defense let them down tremendously, and then the speed took over in this ball game.
And now 3-1 with Brad Hopp on deck.
Not the same guy that pitched against Oakland the other day. Drew mentioned at the start of this ball game, 9 innings, 2 hits in that game, and very good command of all of his pitches. Nowhere near it now.
Atkins lines it over the head of Vizquel. It's going to roll nearly to the warning track. 1 run is scored. Helton to third on a double by Garrett Atkins. He scorched that baseball. 3-1 Colorado. Boy, that's got to feel great for Atkins to hit a ball hard, to contribute. The way things have been going, you almost figured Vizquel was going to make the catch.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he'd already hit into 6 double play balls already. So, I mean, you're thinking the way things have gone for Garrett Atkins, this ball ended up being caught, and they double Helton off. Instead, it's scorched all the way to the wall in left center. Barry doesn't pick it up. They allow Wynn to get it off the end of the bat. Continued carry. Atkins has got to feel, I mean, he will never show a lot of emotion outwardly, but you could fist pump and smile here if you'd like to. Oh, Drew, you got a present.
Oh, wow.
Put them over. Can you put those?
We got to get a shot.
You got to move this over there, please.
And we'll do that in a moment. George, 3-1, Kaz Matsui, and here's Brad Hopp.
Big base hit down the left field line for Brad Hopp in last night's ball game. Now Morse going to his out pitch, the curveball.
And now Bochy concerned about more runs being scored. He pulls the infield in.
This game could get blown up so fast because of Hopp, and then what, you know, Tulowitzki, what is he now, 9 for 18? This will get a run, maybe.
Yeah, shallow right center. Lewis got a late jump, and then with all the momentum going to center field, scoring easily is Helton with the 4th run. 27 RBIs for Brad Hopp. 4-1 Colorado.
This ball club's got to be having a blast right now. They've won 3 straight. Clint Hurdle obviously starting to see some of the offense and the pitching and the bullpen that he has been wanting to see for a while. Todd Helton gets on an error, comes around to score to make it that 4-1 ball game.
Hey, without question, San Francisco's contributed in a large way to the 4-run inning, but the Rockies have to take advantage. We've seen teams kick it around before and then clubs not take advantage. Give Colorado a lot of credit, and also give Clint some credit. I mean, every day during his press conference, 2.5, 3 hours before the ball game, he gets asked, well, are you going to sit Atkins? Are you going to play Baker? Are you going to give him some time off? That's the 2 strikes quickly on Tulowitzki, and every day answers it the same way. He said, this guy has driven in 220 runs the last couple of years. He said, I know he's a good hitter. I'm not going to give up on him. And I'm going to show confidence by putting his name in the lineup card every day.
And a lot of those guys that ask those questions are fans. They're fans of the game, and they would like to see that happen because that's what they want to see happen, you know. And again, you just don't take a guy with Barry Bonds in slumps. You're not going to play him anymore.
It's a reactionary type of thing. Somebody not doing well, you have to make a change. That's not always the way to go about things. 1 and 2, down low, 2 and 2.
Once you have proven you can do something, you're going to get a lot of opportunities to prove it again and again and again. When you haven't proven that you can do it, then your opportunities will be limited.
You can't hit 329 with 29 jacks and driving 120 by accident. 2-2. Top towards short. Tough play for Vizquel, and he's going to make it. In the inning, the Rockies take advantage of 2 giant errors. They score 4 times. They lead at 4-1. Tournament from down under as the world's top poker players battle for a total purse of over $6 million at Australia's most exclusive casino. FullTiltPoker.net presents the Aussie Millions tomorrow at 11 p.m. only on FSN Rocky Mountain. Fred Lewis out of the 2-hole will lead it off in the bottom of the 3rd against Aaron Cook. First pitch out of the strike zone, ball 1. Lewis hit a little comebacker against Cook back in the 1st inning.
Important for Cook to shut it down right here, too, because of the errors and the opportunity presented by the Giants to give the Rockies a 4-0 lead. You're in the middle of the top of that order and work your way into Bonds, Klesko, that type in the lineup. Stop it now. I mean, and just try to get through a smooth inning very quickly.
Here's the 2-1. 3-1. The managers always talk about that, George. You had that sense, I'm sure, as a player, when you go and have a big inning offensively, you want to get right back to the dugout as quickly as possible.
Well, absolutely you do. You want to go out and quicken things up, attack it as much as you can, and continue to pound the strike zone. You just want to give them the opportunity for a big inning.
Don't give them a new life.
Second walk of the ball game for Aaron Cook. He looked a little bit out of sync. You know, I'd like for a stat, and you know, there's people that keep stats on everything, but what a pitcher does after he has ran the bases and scored a run in a ball game, it seems like they always struggle early in the inning when they go back out again. By the way, tomorrow Taylor Buckles will go against Noah Lowry. Lowry 5 and 4. Josh Fogg getting a little more time.
Strained a groin muscle running the bases in his last start. He's responded well to treatment. I mean, initially it was feared, George, he may have to go on the disabled list, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, which is great news.
Well, the off day helped yesterday, you know, Thursday right here, because now you can skip over guys, keep them on their same turn in the rotation, buy him an extra day, get him 9 days in between starts to heal.
Klesko double play ball. Tulowitzki will take it himself. That's the beauty of Aaron Cook, the beauty of anybody who has a superb sinker. If they do give up a hit, or in this case a walk, they can erase it quickly.
Well, off the end of the bat, sinker up into the zone, but he has that ability to move the ball downward, and even when it's up a little bit in the strike zone versus flattening out. Shorten an inning up, you get guys off the base, and even a slumping Barry Bonds comes to the plate. You like for him to be empty.
Rockies put the shift on. And Bonds fouls this one off. Barry's been stuck on 745 home runs for a couple of weeks.
And this is right at Tulowitzki off the mound. Bonds retired. Good, strong inning. Rockies will get right to the dugout with a 4-1 lead. We're off to the 4th inning. Torrealba to lead it off.